Just asked for my girlfriend's phone and she refused. Is my relationship over? Me, 34M, and my partner, 33F, have been together for 6 years. Today I asked for her phone a little while after I saw a message pop up from someone who has been a point of contention in our relationship. She started talking to this guy she knew from childhood. He was a couple years older than her, I believe, and they just reconnected when he ran into her at her work. She's a waitress. We had a fight a while back and ended up not talking for a few days, and during that period, I just stayed home and was sad and processing, but one of those nights she went to a movie with him. She works next to the theater, and we share locations, which I don't like, but I assumed she picked up a shift instead of us spending time together or working through things. I found out about that a week or two later after I caught her in a lie involving lunch with a friend that he ended up accompanying her. She said she was giving her friend a ride to where they were staying, but I found out it was actually this guy and not the friend. She's expressed multiple times that I have nothing to worry about and has even offered her phone to me, but I declined because there's no point when it's offered. Said person could just delete whatever. So, today a message pops up from him. I'm over here wondering why she would even entertain having any kind of relationship with this guy when she knows it makes me insecure. According to her, I didn't see it. He was asking if she was working tonight. She said they only ever see each other now when she's working and he comes in to grab some food, usually to go, and when they chat it's only for a couple minutes and that I have nothing to worry about. That he just prefers to come in when she's there because she's a friendly face from childhood. After reflecting on this and trying to get over these insecurities, I decided to ask for her phone for the first time. I hope to find nothing and then I could just wrap a little ribbon on that anxiety and toss it off the cliff. I've tried to just trust and believe her, but it has just continued to feel off to me and I needed this for a final reassurance. I had hoped it would be a simple endeavor, but I was immediately met with resistance. If you can't trust me, then the relationship is already over. If you have to ask for my phone, then it's obvious we are never going to work. She wouldn't allow me to see it. I stressed that this moment would define the rest of our relationship, and if we can't have full transparency now, then we are going to constantly come back to this moment. That it would cement this anxiousness I'm feeling forever, and if I could ever trust that there wasn't something detrimental on her phone that she was hiding from me. She still wouldn't show me, then told me to go. Since then, she's been bombing me, trying to explain that he messaged her about him struggling with addiction and that she couldn't share that with me because it's an AA thing. She keeps asking if I'm serious and keeps telling me she misses me, and loves me more than anything and only wants me forever, but I'm having a hard time believing that. Keeping her conversation with another man private was more important than us having transparency and trust, and a way to move forward and away from insecurity. I've never loved anyone as much as her and I don't know what to do, or if there's even a way back at this point. Thoughts? Update. Thank you everyone for your input, negative and positive. I've been painfully reading through all your comments throughout yesterday and this morning. She has since been continuing to beg me to stay and says she'll do anything, block the guy and tell him he can't see her anymore, all the way to never having guy friends, which isn't what I want and not what was explicitly bothering me. The resolution I was looking for was to just have transparency and know that she would have offered it as freely as she had in the past, which she didn't. I just wanted to know I could rest easy and feel safe with their conversations and no longer see it as a threat. I wholeheartedly believe that nothing physical has happened, but the denial of transparency leads me to worry there may have been something, even slightly flirtatious, with him or with someone else, or even potentially confiding in him about issues regarding us. It's really difficult to try and just guess what the real reason was, but I don't believe it was as bad as many would believe. She insists on the AA excuse. A little backstory there. She has already told me about him being in AA and him having issues legal/personal because of addiction, but has been sober now for over a year. They have never gone to AA together. She has attended the same group he is in now a handful of times in the past, but never at the same time. She's been struggling with alcoholism for a long time and that has been another strong issue for us. She insists she wanted to protect his privacy, things he's shared with her in confidence, and that it's an AA thing, yet she's already broken that rule and explained the basics, and has already offered her phone to me after the whole movie ordeal when they likely would have already had these conversations. She told me about them before the movie. So to that, I call BS. I could give shirtal about what he's going through. That matters none to me. I wouldn't judge him on that basis and she knows that. We've also been together for 6 years and she's never not shared everything about everyone with me. I can only speculate, but my guess is some trauma bonding and he may have been flirting and she let that go on. To the people calling my insecurities my own problem, yes, I understand that, but they were born out of broken trust by her to begin with, and I don't see asking for transparency as a way to finally put that issue to bed to be a bad thing. It certainly is an invasion of privacy, but after 6 years that wall should at least have a door to knock on, and that's all I did, was knock. Between therapy and watching a lot of relationship counseling podcasts, that's been a definitive step. Asking your partner for their devices while sharing your own and breaking down those walls to be able to rebuild trust. I followed their advice and went for it. I explained how we needed everything on the table in order to build something new. She refused. She's also not without her own insecurities, and I believe they're primarily fueled by alcoholism and the narcissism that comes along with that. As an example, she actually went through my phone without me knowing just a year earlier and didn't find anything to back up her insecurities. She later admitted to me that she had, and tried to twist an actual innocent conversation I had for work. There was nothing there. Also, a friend of mine died recently back in my hometown, which is an hour-and-a-half drive away. I tried to go up there for a couple days to see friends and family. She wouldn't have been able to go, so she made me feel guilty about that, and when I called out that use of guilt, she nearly ended our relationship, and I ended up not going and still haven't been able to make the time to go grieve my friend. She had a close friend of hers pass just 2 days after mine, and that has swallowed her up the last few weeks, and I've just been in support mode. The bombing and begging continues, but I'm trying to take some space from her to process and think of the next steps. This isn't something I can easily walk away from. We've been building a life together. I'm like a father to her kids, and we have a great family and friends dynamic that mean a great deal to me. I'm unsure if this is definitively at its end, but that's the way I'm leaning. I just don't know if that trust can be rebuilt now. Potentially, if we did put everything on the table, went to counseling together as I have suggested to her a few times in the recent past, and she once and for all gave up drinking, there could be something there. I firmly believe we are all capable of making mistakes and can make up for them, both parties just need to be willing. The alcohol issue, to clarify, is daily consumption. She'll wake up with a baby wine next to the bed to start the day and will just drink all day. She's usually more clear in the morning/early afternoon, but as the day goes on the narcissism creeps in and she's impossible to have serious conversations with. She had quit for about 5 months a little over a year ago, and that was the healthiest our relationship had ever been. The narcissism disappeared, we could actually talk to each other, and she was considerate. I'm not opposed to drinking, just her reliance on it and how that affects our relationship and her relationship with the kids. We are supposed to talk tonight and figure out the next steps. I have a foot out the door and still am not decided on which way to go, but I'm leaning out. What do you guys think? Update 2. Tried to do a second update post, but it's against the rules, so here's how it ended. We met and talked, and that dumpster fire got real big real quick. I again asked for her phone and she was still refusing, saying she already deleted everything and blocked him because she didn't want a reminder of him and didn't want that to come between us. I expressed that's not what I wanted or asked for. I just wanted transparency so I could feel safe and secure together again. I insisted that I still needed the phone because we couldn't rebuild our trust until we crossed that bridge together. She begrudgingly handed it over and told me her passcode. I not only found deleted messages from him, but a whopping over 600 from another guy too. She deleted their whole text chain yesterday, I'm assuming before she offered her phone up late last night. I didn't know then I could recover messages, so I obviously denied it. Wish I knew how to do that then. Thank you everyone for your advice, especially those that taught me how to recover messages. She snatched the phone away from me so fast when she realized what happened. I didn't get a good look at the messages at all. But that's enough for me. I told her there was no way forward for us unless I saw them now, and she continued to refuse, so it's done. She kept trying to spin it all around privacy and private conversations and that nothing happened, and she wouldn't betray their confidence in her. Yet, she betrayed my trust so willingly? Even if that were true, which I highly doubt, I'm just fugging over it. She had her chance to be transparent so we could decide to work through what she was hiding or not. She chose not. Still begged. So I chose to not either. Thanks again everyone. Today sucks, and that suck is going to last for a while, but I'm gonna stand by my decision and uncover my self-respect that has been shrouded for some time.